really fun
This meeting
day.
is being recorded.
So before I start sharing my screens, I want all of you to go ahead and pull up Canva. So whether you have a free account, a paid account, it doesn't matter. Pull it up. This is a done with you class. So whenever we're going to be playing around with Canva today. So that's the majority of the class, going to be honest. But this is to get you having that space to create, to ask questions, to explore, and just have fun. So today's going to be like the fun class. Tomorrow is going to be more that strategy class. And so that's what like the next couple of days are going to be like. So let me go ahead and start sharing. And feel free to ask questions as as I present. And let me know when you can see my screen. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. All right, let me know if you can see. You have to come off mute.
I can see it, Monica.
Thank you, Gail. Gail knows how this works because she's been on many of my webinars and masterclasses. So thank you for coming today and trusting me with your time and your journal process, whether you're making a journal, planner, tracker. You can create a coloring book. It really doesn't matter what you're creating. It's just that you're here today creating. And there was something else I was going to say that I can't think of what it was, but it will come back to me, I'm sure. Oh, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to just unmute and ask, because I might go too fast, or you might have a question, and before you forget, you may want to go ahead and ask it. If you're anything like me, that may help you. So feel free to do that. So if you want to drop in the comments, or because this group is small enough, feel free to unmute and let me know. Why do you want to create a journal, a tracker, or planner? So let me, go ahead and let me know. Just come off mute and just share real quick.
Well, I started one with you last year that I didn't finish because I didn't have the margins set correctly, and I got frustrated. So I want to get it done.
Yes, those margins. Yes, they they can be tricky. Hopefully today we will make sure that these margins stay within the bounds, I guess. Anyone else want to share what you're creating?
Yeah, I'd love to create like a journal, a tracker, and a planner, maybe simply just to go along with, the course that I teach, the Sandercott method that, it's coming out as a book, more of like a workbook, right? Mm-hmm. It calls for those things. So it just makes sense to provide them, and plus people don't have them anyways, and it just works better when it's what I use anyways. So
yeah. And it's just a great way to take what you're teaching and put it into something that people can write and hold in their hands. Like I know I work better whenever I'm writing and holding something in my hands than digital.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think for me, I've been a copywriter, self-employed my whole adult career. So I'm really just looking at just other potential things to do. I'm still going to be a copywriter. That's how I make my money, but I'm just interested in seeing what other ways of making money are potentially out there. Even if I only make a journal that only I use, that would still count as a win to me.
Yeah. There's so many different, and that's a beautiful thing about journals and these, what they call low content books, is that you get to create them for others or for yourself. Or if you started creating something for yourself, but then you open it up to other people, that's great. Well, this is all so exciting. Thank you for sharing with me. And how many of you have already created something like a journal, tracker, planner, anything that any of you have created anything else? Or would this be your first one?
I've created it, not on Canva.
But
yeah, it's already created.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mom, I think you didn't make you order in it.
Okay. The little one come back up. I think he's okay. Okay. That's great. That's great. And remember, you don't have to create, if you already have it created, it doesn't have to be created in Canva, but you might be inspired. It's just good. I would just say, see where the inspiration takes you.
Yeah, I mean, it's created on pen and paper, just to be
Oh.
clear. And it's not, you can't scale pen and paper very well.
So I'm not sharing with you.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm like, what?
Where's my camera?
Didn't you eat it?
No.
Go ask Bubba. Bubba knows. Go get Anthony.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. So thanks for your patience. So let's move on. And so thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. If you have your own paper, this is the time to get it into Canva. So at least you can make it and it's there. And if you ever want to make something a little slightly different, you already got the format. So this training or Journal to Jackpot is really for you if you are an author who have written like a powerful book. Like there's some of us who are in the Journal to Jackpot group, but they're not on here. They have written powerful books, and now they want to add something to the book so that way people have something to journal with or to take down notes with as they're reading your book, which is a powerful way to hone in on the work. Many of us, I know for me, I've written a book, I've written several books, and I want people to take what I have to say and apply it to their lives. And what's better way than to provide some type of journal with that? Maybe you already created a journal and are now looking for ways to make money with it. You're like, I got this journal. How do I make money with it? How do I move forward with this? How do I create more passive income? Maybe that's something that you're looking at. Maybe you're a speaker who is looking for more ways to connect with your audience. This is, for me, in my opinion, when you go out and speak, if you're speaking on some type of stage, having a book, whether it's a journal, planner, tracker, anything to sell at the end of your speech can be such a big win for you. For example, I was speaking at a conference. It was a small conference here in my local area, and I brought my books and I sold 2 of them, resulting in $35. It was a free, 10-minute speaking engagement. It was a lot of fun. And I'm like, as far as I know, I'm the only one who has been paid so far to speak because I sell books. And I feel that is such a powerful statement to make, to say, hey, you know what? I was the only one who sold something at this conference. And that's the beauty of having a book, is because whenever you're out speaking, if people don't buy your packages afterwards or your programs afterwards, at least you have your books to sell. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur who loves to be in his or her creative space. Creating things like this is so much fun for me. And it might be really fun for you too. You might see like, oh, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to create more. It gives you an unlimited amount of creativity to play in. And lastly, this is perfect for you if you are a coach who encourages your clients to journal, and maybe you want your own journal because maybe you're tired of sending them to Dollar Tree or sending them somewhere else to buy a journal. And you're like, why can't they just buy mine? Or why can't I maybe gift it to them? And this could be for your clients, and it could be for people who are not your clients. And this is just a great way to get your name out there and to, of course, like I said before, make money while you're out of your, out offline rather than being online. So this is for you if you desire more book sales that are easy and fun. Like selling a journal, there's no pressure to sell a journal, but it's a lot of fun when you do it right. And it could be so beneficial for someone else because we know journaling can lead to so much transformation. It's a way to serve more people. It's a way to go outside of yourself, go outside of your coaching programs, or go outside of your services and sell to other people who may not need your services. It's a way for you to learn and experiment what your audience likes, what you like, and just to, like I said, get back into your inspiration. And if you want to bundle more of your books, like several of us have books in here, I know a couple of us already do. And we want to bundle our books for more experiences. So like bundling a workbook and a journal together, or bundling a coloring book and a journal together could be really, like, it could be fruitful for you and beneficial to your audience. And like I said before, journals, planners, trackers, all that, they're fun because they're not pressure. There's no pressure. You're not gonna die if no one buys your journal, right? And plus, like, journaling, tracking, even having a plan of sorts can, it can be a stress reliever, knowing like what to do, how are you going to plan your day. And if you're trying to do a new habit, this is still like a stress reliever, knowing like things are going to, it gives your mind something to do rather than, be on your phone. It helps your brain to slow down, your hands to stay busy, and it gives your heart a place to just calm down and reflect. Journals are fun because it's a way to write down your to-dos or what's going on in your head. I mean, in this class, you could even create your own composition workbook, like composition notebook. It could be that simple. You could provide a quick win, because once you finish a page, you are accomplished. You feel accomplished. You get that dopamine hit. For your audience, it could be the same thing. It's a way to express yourself, because journals are a way to express yourself and your creativity, and then someone else gets to enjoy it. And I think for us creatives, that is why we love doing what we're doing, because when we pour into it and other people are blessed by it, it's so encouraging. It's perfect for travel, coffee shops, or winding down before bed. Like I said, journals and trackers and planners, all these things are just so easy to incorporate in anyone's life. It doesn't have to be your clients. Of course, it encourages mindfulness, and it's shareable, because whenever you have a good journal, planner, or tracker, you want to share that. You want to share it with others. And this can give you, your business, word of mouth marketing, free word of mouth marketing, and it can help others to share your business for free. And you don't know where the opportunities can come from just that. So today, the whole goal today is to learn how to create your own journal in real time. That's why I said, pull up Canva. We're doing this together. We're going to start, okay? I'm going to give you some social media posts to get some engagement and some leads, because yes, we are going to be selling these things starting tomorrow. So today we're going to get some leads coming in. I'm going to show you what you can do, and then I'll open it up for Q&A. And then tomorrow, you're going to walk away with how to market your journal, planner, or tracker, what to post to get some pre-sales, and then some time for Q&A as well. And then in the Facebook group, I will be supporting you in getting your first 10 sales or more. Because why set up for 10 when we can go for more? So this is a very actionable workshop and container. So I'm Monica. I am your content guide and creative coach. I help entrepreneur women and men really take the stories from their heart and get it out there in big ways. Because what I found is a lot of my clients, they know their voice, their message was not meant for one platform. It's meant for so many different platforms, from journals to speaking to writing their memoir or business book to, how do I get the word out on social media about what I'm doing? I help them do that and really to piece their story together so they are consistent and on brand all over the board. I'm an international speaker, author, and writer. I have published, I don't even know how many books. A planner, 3 coloring books, 4 journals, 1 devotional, 1 fiction, 1 nonfiction, and I'm working on my fantasy novel. I'm on book 2, writing it. I'm still editing book 1 because these fantasy novels are a beast. I did not expect that, but here we are. So I'm very diverse in my writing styles. So you can see that I have, here are some of the books I have published throughout the years. And I am actually rewriting my 30-day devotional for Christian writers book as we speak. And this is my family. I currently reside in Northeast Indiana with my husband and 2 kiddos. We are a homeschool family. So I homeschool my oldest, who we are about to wrap up with school, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be done. And because I'm excited. I am done with doing school. So whenever I am not homeschooling, I am drinking coffee, traveling, walking outside whenever it feels good, working outside, and supporting my clients in where they want to go in their business, and speaking. I've been doing a lot of speaking lately. So that's fun too. All right. So I want to talk about the variety of things we can be creating, because I don't want you to think a journal is just lines. Because in reality, journals can be so much more. It can be, a line journal, a bullet journal, a blank journal, a grid journal, a mindfulness journal, a gratitude journal, a prayer journal, a mood journal. I mean, there's so many different types of journals you can create. So I don't think yourself, unless you want to be, that's okay. I want you to think about outside the box here. If you want, if you already know, my heart is set on a line journal, do that. Honor what your heart's calling you to do. But if you're kind of like, I'm going to experiment, then today's going to be the day that we are actually going to experiment with what is it that is going to feel fun to you and be supportive for the people who are going to buy your journal. So here is all the different types of journals you can create. And depending on if you just want to create a journal, well, you can even create a tracker. We were talking about trackers. And here's all the different trackers that you can create as well. So there's mood, fitness, health, goal, meal, recipes, savings, money, reading trackers, blog traffic trackers, email subscriber trackers, social media trackers. You could probably imagine the list goes on and on. And then, of course, let's go to planners. So if you want to create a planner, here are some different planners you can create. You can create a daily planner, weekly planner, a monthly planner, or it could be a lot of planners, have a month, and then they may have the week, and then they have like the daily. So depending on your style or your audience style, you can create that type of planner. A goal setting planner, a productivity planner, financial planner. Once again, meal and recipes, ADHD management planners, fitness, readings, course schedules, course idea planners, and marketing planners. That's a lot of planners. I wanted to show you all this because there is so much variety here that you can create. And the beautiful thing about all of this is you get to decide how unique you want your planner to be or your journal to be. You can combine a planner and journaling pages together. You can have a journal with maybe some smaller graphics that people can color. You can have a tracker that is also part of a planner with some journaling, or maybe mixing up a gratitude journal with a mood journal. I mean, there's so many different ways you can do this. So I'm a girl of options, probably too many options. But if you like options, the wall is like your oyster now. Now you can create whatever you want that is unique, it stands out, and it can be different from the other type of planners, trackers, and planner trackers and journals that are out there. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Now that I might have overwhelmed you. And now that you might have been thinking, okay, here's a planner, here's what I want to create. Now we want to think about some themes. Because when you are creating anything, you want to create a theme. Yes, it can be sporadic. You can do that. If you are like, I'm just going to put like a flower right here, a rainbow over there, and a lightning bolt in here. You can do whatever you want. But it's great to start with some type of theme, especially for that front cover. That front cover needs to that front cover needs to capture someone's attention. So knowing what kind of theme you're going to go with for that front cover, for your journal, planner, or tracker front cover is going to be key. So you can have doodles, nature, space, floral. It could be a solid color. Maybe you're just like, I just want to be solid. You could do that. It could be like a monthly or seasonal theme. Like January is more that winter theme. February is the hearts. March is, I guess, spring-ish. April might be flowers. May, maybe, whatever. Go, et cetera, right? It could be scenes or landscapes. It could be letters. Like just an A or a B, or, that way people can go and choose the letter for their name. It could be a Bible verse, animals, abstract. It could be games or movie based, like Minecraft or Harry Potter, any of those. So all this to say is pick a theme that feels relevant for what you're creating. If you're going for more of a professional look, you want to say professional. If you're going for more of a whimsical look, go whimsical. So do what feels good for you and your audience. All right. So this is a time that I am going to stop this, and we're going to actually start planning our journals and trackers. Let me see. What's the time? Okay. So we're going to play with this for about 20 minutes, and then we'll wrap up because I only got a couple more things to share with you before we end the day, but I want to have some time for Q&A. So when you come on to your Canva account, you want to go ahead and create your journal, like the insides of your journal. Tomorrow, we're going to talk more about how to create the 4-journal page. I'm also going to be dropping in the Facebook group a link to a YouTube video I made where it talks about how to upload your journal onto KDP for when the time comes, if that's a route you want to go with. Okay. Any questions before I move on? Okay. Now let's go ahead and create our journal inside pages. One of the things that you want to know, go ahead and click on that create button right here. One of the things that you want to know is the size of your journal. I wish I would have grabbed some of my journals because then I could show you some examples. Okay, so I like creating my journals in like a 6x9, and that's the typical height and width of a journal. If I'm doing like a planner, I like to do the traditional 8.5 by 11 inch page, which is, I'm going to use this, a typical page like this, right? So a typical white or letter page. Those different types of sizes. So I know there's a 5x8, 6x9, 8x10, I believe, 8x10, and then the 8.5 by 11. So depending on what size you want to go with, you want to go to custom size at the very bottom, and you want to make sure this is in the units or in inches, not pixels. And you're just going to put in the size. So the width would be 6 and the height would be 9. So you'll make that 6x9 inch page cover. That makes sense. So go to create new design, and that, whatever the width and height you want it to be, you're going to create that custom size in inches. Go to create new design. Now I already have a practice one up and ready. So I'm going to go here. So this is how my 6x9 will look. What I want you to focus on for the next 10-ish minutes, 10-ish, 15-ish minutes, is we are going to use this time to make the inside of our books. And then we're going to use a couple more minutes to start creating our front cover. Now, the goal today is not to get done with our books. Like if you get done with your book in this class, great. But the goal inside this class is, if you don't get done, that's okay. It's okay if you don't get done. That's not the goal. The goal is to at least finish your front cover today and you start putting your inside of your journal, tracker, or planner in here today. All right. So one of the things, do you have a question?
I don't see workbook. That's what you clicked. Like you went to create, custom size, and then I have 8.5 by 11, and inches, and then it's like resume portrait, newsletter portrait, letter portrait, magazine cover.
So whenever you put in those custom sizes, you're going to click on create new design, and it's be a button.
I saw that. I knew that.
Yeah.
Almost right then. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I probably went by that really fast. Sorry about that.
And then I'm just supposed to be at search templates or workbook.
So you went to create.
Yeah. And I'm at it looks like your page. It just says search templates and there's like.
Oh yeah. No, I just had that up.
Okay.
I was clowning around yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I was clowning around yesterday with it, so I had the workbook still pulled up. But speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, David, because if you go to templates on your left-hand side, you can type in some different things to put into your book. So I'm going to explain this in just a second. Canva has graciously already created a lot of what we need. If you're just looking for a line journal, you could type in line journal, and they already have created the line journal pages in here. So let's go to this one. All right. So if I typed in, let me slow that down. I know I go really fast. So if I typed in line journal in the templates, it shows this C-base one. This is how it will look. If I just wanted lines, this may be all I want. Now, I may take this out because I don't love this font. But what I could do, here's another thing to look out for while I'm on it. So I'm going to change this font and put like date. But before I do that, one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure our journal, tracker, or planner stays inside this pink, there we go, pink grid. When you go outside that grid, Amazon is not going to like you. So you have to make sure that you stay inside this pink grid. If you stay inside the pink grid, it's going to save you heartache and a lot of frustration. Trust me on that. I had to learn this the hard way. So just be mindful of this. So stay within that the pink square.
Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that up. So these are so you are publishing these on Amazon, and so could you publish? I mean, just for fun, like a 10,000 page workbook on Canva? 10,000 word page. So it's like 75 page.
Yeah. So are you asking the total would be like 10,000 words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And publish it on Amazon or upload okay, I didn't know that was possible. Great, thank you.
Yeah. So for example, I can find it in just a little bit. Let me get through this part and then remind me, David, because I might forget.
Okay.
I will show you the inside of my planner just to give you an idea of how I did my planner. I mean, I may go back and redo it one day, but right now I'm not. It serves its purpose. But there's a lot of words in that, and there's like a part to plan, there's images, there's all kinds of different things in there that I use, and it's probably about 70-ish, maybe 60-ish pages, and it got published.
Yeah. So if you're on more of a budget, like last time I had a lot more money to spend on it, but if you're on more of a budget, Canva's the way to go then. Just do all the labor yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it lays it out for you.
Yeah. And like the beautiful thing about Canva, which I really like, is that they already have the templates, a lot of templates that you can go in and customize yourself.
Yeah.
And because a lot of times, journal, tracker, planner, a lot of it is just repeated pages.
Right.
That's all it is. And I'm going to show you how to speed up that process once you have your page laid out the way you want. All right. So then for this page, because I'm not going to publish this page in like a cream color, I'm going to make it white. White is cheaper, by the way, to publish on Amazon. Just if you want to do it, you can. I mean, I had clients to do colored stuff on Amazon. It's just Amazon would charge more to print, so you have to make sure your book is at a price point that you are making enough royalties to just justify all that. If that makes sense. If not, just ask me about it afterwards and I will support you. So one of the things I like to do with a journal, so especially a line journal like this, is I like to make a page with a date. I don't know, I like the date. And then take it off on the second page, because I don't know about you, but I always need 2 pages. I cannot write my thoughts on just 1 page. I don't know who does. Like, I need 2 pages. So one of the things I like to do is if I know I'm going to have, okay, here's a date page and here's the second page, I like to put a little doodle right here or an image. I did not like the seashells. I'm just going to be honest. So some of the themes I have done is mountains. So I have put like a mountain scene down here and I faded it out. I've done that. I've done trees. I've done butterflies because one of my themes was like a butterfly theme. So for this, just for example, let's go to flowers. And then we'll move on to the other types. I'm trying to think of like what would be, you know what, let's do this one. Because if I'm going to print this journal in black and white, I may want to use a black and white image. You don't have to, but it might make more sense. Now that could be something that I may want to, I could publish. It has the lines right here. It has the second page with the lines and a nice little flower. I mean, I can add more things if I wanted to. I can add other elements like lines or little flourishes. It doesn't just have to be the flower. I'm just giving an example. If you wanted to do like a bullet point, I believe I typed in I need to go to templates. Sorry. I believe I just typed in bullet journal. If you are a bullet journal person, whoops. And I believe I clicked on this one last time. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I did not click on that last time. I clicked on something like it, and maybe it was this one. Because sometimes they give you more than one page. And these are just templates, right? They already give you the templates. And I used this template, but I just removed the leaf. That's all I did, was I used that template, removed the leaf, and now I got this nice bullet finish. So if your audience is into bullet journals, you can do that. You can keep, let's go to duplicate page. The one thing about Canva is I feel like you can get so lost in the creativity. Like there's so much you can do. Say you like this, you like, I really like that. I like this, but I don't love this leaf. Well, you can delete the leaf and then put your own element right there, whatever it is. You'll just go to elements. If you're doing a specific theme, I would say add in that theme. So once again, if my theme was flowers, which if you know anything about me, a lot of my themes are flowers. I don't know how that just happens, apparently. I could put it right here-ish, and then I could have a flower right there, and then people could color the flower while they are bullet journaling. So it could be a color and bullet journal type of book. That is something that I can do. Or I can add 2 different flowers, or I can do different themes for different pages. All right. Now let's go to, I know I'm running through this quite quickly. If you go to trackers, there's all, like, it gives you suggested habit trackers. There was a money tracker. Let's go to just see what they have with trackers. So you can see, not Amazon, Canva already has all these different trackers that you could add to your planner, to your journal, to any, like your workbook. If you are creating a tracker of any sorts, you can take one of these trackers and then just change the colors. Well, if you're publishing black and white, it may not matter. But you can change the words. You can move things around. You can shape it any way you want. Here's a saving tracker, a fitness tracker, a habit tracker. There's a lot of habit trackers. Monthly tracker, measurement tracker, a budget. There's book tracker, and this is kind of cool, right? So so this is where, like, if you're making a planner, you can add trackers in it, so that way people can track whatever they're wanting to track. Books, habits. One of the planners I have has a life wheel. So I'll look that up. And you can add a life wheel into your journal. I mean, you can even add this to your journal. I mean, you can have that and have it added every 5th or every 7th page. If you wanted people to track their life every 7 days. I mean, you could even make a journal and then have, like, after, 10 pages, have a coloring page. Have some flowers, black and white flowers that people can color, or whatever your theme is, right? You just have to go to element and look for that. So you can see that there are, I hope you can start to see, like, there are so many different things you can do. Now let's go to planners. So you have Go Setting Planner, which is, and it also has that life tracker right here. Not the life tracker, the life wheel, the life wheel. So you have the daily, you have, then they already have a 2026 planner. And you could use this, the calendars in your planners. You can use that and then just change the colors, change the background, change the font to meet your brand. And then you can add different things between that. Like, if you had this 2026 planner and you wanted a habit tracker, a life wheel, and you wanted maybe some journal pages in there, you can create all that. I hope you can see, like, there is a lot of possibility here. And I've already created, let me see, I fooled around with this the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I've added in here. All right. Any questions before I move on? Okay. If there is, just unmute yourself. One thing that's going to speed up the process, if, whenever you have your journal or your tracker or your planner, the beautiful thing is these are repeated pages. You're probably not going to diversify it a lot, even if the words may change. Like David, depending on how your planner will look, maybe some content will change, but maybe not the layout of the content. The pages are going to look the same, but there may be different content or different elements on there. But once you have the main thing done, like for example, once you've already created this journal page, these 2 journal pages, you're going to be repeating that for the next 80 pages. So how do you speed up the process? Because you could go duplicate page, and then shuffle it around. Or you can go to, let me go back. I did that too fast. Go to this little 4 squares at the bottom of your page, and it's the grid view. And there we go. Once you go to the grid view, this is where you can speed up the duplication process. Once you have everything mapped out, your 7 days of journaling and tracking or whatever, or your month, once you have all that done, you can now go to the grid and you can see your 2 pages. You're going to select the first page, and I click Control, and I click on the second page. Hopefully this makes sense. And then you're going to right click and duplicate 2 pages. So now I've got 1 entry. Now I got 2 entries. Now I can press Control and highlight. Now I got 4 pages highlighted. Now I can duplicate 4 pages. And then I can highlight, I can click on these journal pages, and I'll have 8 and continue to duplicate. So that way I'm not, it's already put it in order. How is this sounding? And do y'all have any questions before I move on?
Sorry, Monica, I just was able to find my buttons again.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm working with my old template from last year,
Uh-huh.
but I'm not seeing where the, I guess margins where, the pink lines. So how do those show up to let you know that you're within the parameters of the public, being able to publish it?
Yeah. So if you can find an element or a text and start moving it around,
okay.
You can it would generally appeal. Sometimes it doesn't want to, and I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm just like, where are you, grid? Or lines?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah. Okay. So look to move some kind of element around to get it to show up.
Yeah. I'm sure it's on here somewhere where that grid or the pink line will always be on your document. So at least you always know where it is. And these are my parameters.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find it?
I have to go back to it to look. So thank you.
Yeah. No, I duplicated. I didn't want to duplicate. Okay. So now I know I'm going pretty fast here, but I want to have time for Q&A. So once you remember, we're just getting things started. You know, many of you could probably get this done today, like journaling. It's like a journal doesn't, it's just a lot of duplication. But right now, what I want you to do now is create a new blank page. What I like to do, if you go to add page on page number 1, I'm going to go to add page, and it's going to make a new page and put it at number 2. That's page 2. And then you're just going to click that move up button to make it page 1. That's what I like to do. You can keep it at page 2. There's nothing saying you couldn't. But I like to have it on page 1. This is a page that you are going to create your front cover. And your front cover can look any way you want. You can go back and you can go, like, for example, maybe you really like, for example, this bullet journal cover. But instead of saying bullet journal, maybe you write something else, whatever that something else is. And maybe you want to replace these images with something else. Or maybe you're like, I want to create my own thing, but I just need inspiration. So let's go to journal covers. Let's see what Canva comes up with. So we can see that there are a lot of different covers on here. Olivia's writing notebook. Here's a journal, my daily journal. I mean, I like that. That's pretty. You can see that some of it's basic. Some of it has like a background, like a marble. I like that marble. I believe, yeah. If you like this, for example, that pink marble background, if you scroll down on your left-hand side where templates, elements, text is, you scroll down and click background. You can search for all these different backgrounds to put as a background of your journal, if that is something you want. So you can definitely search backgrounds. So you can search like a marble and see what it comes up with. So you can see that they have a couple of different images and some of these fun things right here. Or you can choose a different color from this color wheel thing that they have. But going back up to templates, maybe you're creating a planner. So here's some planner covers. And depending on your theme, you may want to choose maybe more of a plain cover and then add in your themed elements, like adding flowers or unicorns or computers or whatever it is. Maybe you're like, I want to add an image, and that's okay too. I got pixels connected to my account, but you can also go find royalty-free images on Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay, if that's still around. I have not used them in a long time. Those 3, they will have royalty-free images that you can use, upload it onto Canva and put it as your background and, create it however you want. Here is why we're creating our cover. Now, if you create this cover and you don't love it, that's okay. You can always change it. Because what we're going to do is today, you are going to ask people, you're going to let people know, hey, I got a cover for my new planner, for my new journal, for my new tracker. You want to see it? Who wants to see it? That would give you some time to continue to perfect your cover. So that way you are getting, while that post is getting people excited about your tracker or your planner or any of that, like it's going to get people excited and be like, yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it. It's going to give you time to finish just your cover. Just your cover. So you can share with the world tomorrow if you wished. So just know, that's why I'm like, let's go and get the cover. And we're not talking about the entire cover. I'm not talking about the entire cover. I'm talking about just this right now. We'll go into the entire cover tomorrow. But right now we're talking about this. So you can see that there's all kinds of different, planner covers. How about trackers? Tracker covers. Let's see what they have. Mood tracker, wellness tracker, worship tracker, healthy habits tracker, like some front covers, book club tracker. So you can also make your own tracker. Oh, not your own tracker, excuse me, your own front cover. All right, I know I've given you a lot. So I want to pause and ask, is there any questions?
I have one question that is probably a little bit far ahead, but it's about selling. So you mentioned Amazon. Is there, or have you ever just sold like a digital version of your journals?
Yes, you can definitely do that if you wished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then what about Etsy as a platform for selling?
Yeah, I would say do it. If that's where you want to put your stuff, go do it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I'm a fan of course, you get to decide what you want to do. If you want to have a digital offer, that's great. I have a digital offer on my planner, and so I sell it on a website on PayHip, and then I also sell it on Amazon as a physical copy. So for those who would rather have the physical copy, you can go to Amazon and get it, or you can buy it from me directly, or you can go and download it on PayHip and get the file and print it out yourself. So that's a great question. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. So today you learned how to create a tracker, planner, or journal, how to duplicate your pages so you can get it faster, or at least create however many pages faster. Journals, I believe with journals, I believe that minimum is like 60 pages on Amazon. Of course, if it's digital, you don't have to worry about it. Like, it's whatever you want. But with Amazon, I think it's 60 to 70 pages as a minimum. And I don't think there is a maximum. I don't know if there is a maximum, but you will probably want to keep it between 70 to maybe 200 pages, depending. Like I have one of my journals is about 100 pages, and another of mine is maybe 70, 75. I just try to make it even. So then there's, 2 pages for each entry. That's kind of how I look at it. All right. So that is what you learned today. And you also learned how to create that front cover and how to duplicate your pages. Once they're done, you don't have to be done with it today. And so I'm just going to walk you through this. I'm not going to share my screen. I'm just going to do this. So let's make we already made it. We're making it. So today's goal is to make your front cover. Actually, it really doesn't have to be today's goal. It can just be your next 24-hour goal. There we go. Your next 24-hour goal is to create that front cover. And then, but today, I do want you to go on your social media and ask, I just created the front cover of my journal, tracker, or planner. Who wants to see it? That's it. That's the only thing I want you to put and post. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking all about marketing, and we're also going to finish that cover so it's ready for printing if you are going to print it on KDP. Now, if you're not going to print on KDP, you can kind of zone out during that time. But in that time, if you are going to print on KDP, then definitely tune in. All right.
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
So let's say I create a file for this, and then KDP, that's Amazon and stuff. Can I just send it to a printer and print it as well with Canva?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and just get it done. Right. Nope.
Yeah.
A file is a file or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
What I have, here's just some things to think about. This is what I would think about is, if I sold it through Amazon, yes, they're going to take out a portion. Yes. However, is their printing costs and shipping costs, is that going to be more or cheaper than if I do it?
I think Amazon's sweet. I think that's awesome that it puts it in a file where you can just upload it. I was just curious, but it makes sense. It's just a file you're downloading. I understand now.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna the video I'm sharing. I believe it does talk about downloading that file and uploading it onto Amazon. So let me show you. This is my digital copy of my planner. Just kind of give you this. Remember, this was done a long time ago. I'm like, I don't remember. I think I was still living in Wyoming. No, but I don't know. It was a while ago. It was I think Anthony was around, so it hasn't been the last 8 years. Is when have I done it. This planner, I already had created all these different elements, and I just asked somebody to put it all into a workbook for me. If I were to go back and redo it, I would probably use some elements that Canva offers, and then I would, so that's what I would do, and mix it in with my own. So you can see my front cover. Once it gets done loading, you can see this was my front cover. So I used the image and the overlay and some words. And because this is a planner, I wanted to be more intimate with my clients or the people who are reading it. So you can just see that, this is before Corbin was born. So I guess it was the last 5 years. So I made this 5 years ago. You can see that this is a lot of it's content. There's some images. And because it is a workbook, I wanted people to use it as such. This is published in black and white, but at least people can get the idea. And then here is a break it down page so they can write things as that journal. So you can just see how I utilize this. Of course, there's a lot of color in this one, but it's black and white it's black and white whenever you publish it, or whenever I publish it. I didn't. So anyway, so hopefully this gives you an idea of this is how my planner looks. Would I go more basic next time around? If I decide to update this, I probably would. I probably would make it more of a planner. But until then, this is what I have. And so far I like it. And I've heard a lot of positive feedback from from the people who bought it. So that is all I have for you today. But I wanted to leave it I want to give y'all a couple of minutes to ask any questions before I let you go for today.
I do have a quick question. I was remember why I was asking that. So in my mind, I want my planner to be a spiral bound planner. I don't have that say if I go on Amazon, right?
You are correct.
Yeah. And then what about the Canva file?
Yeah.
I'll still be able to get that. I should still be able to spiral bound it. Yeah.
Yes. So one of my clients created a spiral bound journal and coloring book mix. What we did was we used her Canva file, of course, downloaded it, and we had to go to Lulu, and it's lulu.com or Lulu Publishing. It acts very much like Amazon, so we're still going to have that low printing cost, and they offer spiral binding.
Awesome.
So look on Lulu. Whenever I set it up for her because we're good friends and She asked me too, so I said yes. Whenever I set it up for her, I remember it was pretty easy to set up, and then it offered the spiral bound option. And yeah, if you want spiral bound, I would say go with Lulu. I believe we did not do it with her book, but I do believe you can sell it with Amazon. I just don't know how that will work.
Yeah.
Go that route with her, but
Right.
I believe you can.
Yeah. Okay.
But if
Thank
you're
you.
going to be using it more as a buy from me, then it sounds like you just need a publisher with the spiral bound option.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just do that, then then Lulu would be a good option. And then you can always have it on your website. And if somebody does order, you can either go to Lulu and order it from there as the author. And because as authors, we get discounts.
Sure.
You
Just
just
like
pay
Amazon.
yeah, just like Amazon. So you just ship it from Lulu from there. Or if you have some copies on hand, you'll just ship it to them however it works for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? They were good questions, David.
Thank you.
Any other questions before I get going? All right. Well, I will see y'all all tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be diving into more of the marketing. And I'm excited about that. And if you have any other questions, post in the Facebook group. I'll be giving you some homework ideas, throughout today. So be sure to check in the Facebook group and get into action. And if anything pops up, just ask me.
Thank you.
All right. See you tomorrow at the same time. Bye for now.